This is the Dream Pocket camera. It's a dream come true. It has great image quality. It's small and it helps you take great pictures wherever you are and whatever you are doing. So I want to share with you my thoughts after 1 year of use of this camera. Let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Tudor Matescu and in this video I want to share with you my dream camera, my portable, pocketable dream camera. Why I love it so much, why it's so great, and why I do recommend get it if you are thinking that you want a pocketable camera. Of course, it's not a go-to camera for every situation, and I will cover what situations aren't suited for this camera, but the majority of situations for someone who is passionate about photography, for someone who wants to do street photography, documentary photography, or for someone who wants to have great image quality in his or her pocket, this is the camera to go, because this camera, it enters in your pockets. Yes, and it's very light. So very light camera, it enters in your pockets, being a jacket pocket, a winter jacket pocket, autumn pocket, and so on, or even a blue jeans pocket, it will enter there. But more, you can add this camera being so light and small in any bag. So you can use any bag, any portable bag, any kind of bag. It doesn't matter what kind of bag. Any kind of bag. It's not just that being portable and small. Yes, it's not having a great battery life, but the batteries are so small and so light, you can put also these batteries wherever you want. So you only need this kit. 2 spare batteries and this kit, and you'll have peace of mind that you will be able to take shots at least 2 days with this kit. Great quality shots. Next, why I'm loving this camera and why I do recommend it as a pocketable camera is that if you want a pocketable camera, you must love photography and you want to do better photography with better image quality. So this is the next reason why I do recommend get a pocketable camera with great image quality. The sensor of this camera, it's a great sensor. It's an APS-C sensor, 26 megapixel sensor that has great image quality. So the image quality, it's really great, but it's not just about the sensor, it's also about the lens. The lens of this camera, it's jaw-dropping. It has jaw-dropping image quality. And now we are getting to the next part. Why would you want such a great pocketable camera? Because having such a great lens with such a good sensor with IBIS, you will be able to take any shots wherever you are. So this is the next point. So we have here a small pocketable camera with image quality comparable to a full frame camera with IBIS. So this means you can get the following shots. You can get street photography shots, documentary shots, portraiture shots without problems. You can also get landscape shots, macro shots, food shots, product shots, and the list goes on and on and on. The next thing that I love about this camera, and it's a must-have regarding a pocketable camera, is that this camera is very responsive. You have top-notch image control, AF control, and especially manual focusing controls. So you have all the controls in a very detailed manner. So you can set up all those tiny things that are important for you. You can even add a vignetting to this lens, or the white vignetting. You can add grain, you can add film simulations. So get great out of the camera JPEGs in your pocket. It's not like X100V. X100V, it's not a pocketable camera. So great controls on the JPEGs. Black and white tones are great. And I will do a special video about the film simulations of this camera. So please subscribe to see that video when I will publish it. So great controls regarding AF, manual focusing, image quality, controls, and so on. And especially I want to touch on this. Great manual focusing options. So why this is great? Because manual focusing for this kind of shooting is faster than AF. Manual focusing, if you will use it at least 1 month, let's say, at least 2 weeks, try for 2 weeks to experience manual focusing, you will find out that manual focusing for documentary photography, for street photography, it is faster than AF, even if you have the latest Sony camera. The manual focusing, it will bring another experience. It will help you understand what Bresson said when he said that the joy of photography is when the eye, the mind and the camera are aligning to one of a split second, and you get that joy of intellectual joy. When you have the lag of an AF camera, even if it's a very fast AF camera, you'll not feel that joy of getting the shot by yourself with a manual focusing dedicated camera. So this camera has AF, that it's great, but not at the top of a Sony camera. It's working great in good light, in acceptably good light, but it's not working great in low light if your subject is not well lit. And photography is made with good light, but if you will master the manual focusing, you'll have no problems in getting the shot. So it's a camera dedicated to someone who really wants to learn photography, or who is passionate, or who already knows photography, and it wants a camera that will offer an unique experience. And what is more than that is that the manufacturers thought very well about the focal length of this camera. You have two options on this camera. You have the 28mm options and also the 40mm equivalent options. This camera that I have is Ricoh GR IIIx, a 40mm field of view pocketable camera. The next option is of course Ricoh GR III 28mm pocketable light small camera. And why these focal lenses are so great? Because with 28mm you have no constraints wherever you are. So indoors you'll not feel that constraint. But from my experience, a 40mm lens, it's also suited in an indoor environment. Yes, if you are in a very crowded and small space, then you need a 28mm. Also, you can want a 28mm field of view if you want to do fine art photography, where the 40mm field of view it's more suited for documentary photography, for street photography, for portraits, for humanistic photography. But I will cover these focal lenses of Ricoh GR IIIx versus GR IIIx in another video, so subscribe and give it a like to this video if you didn't do so till now. So for me, Ricoh GR IIIx, a 40mm equivalent field of view camera, it's great. I'm more passionate towards documentary photography, towards portraiture photography, towards photography that it's showing a story, a humanistic story, than an abstract photography. I'm also liking abstract photography. It's a fine way to relax yourself, but I'm also loving the humanistic part of photography, and I'm feeling that I'm loving more. So this is where Ricoh GR IIIx with a 40mm comes into play. It's more suited than a 40mm. I'm able to use this lens indoors without problems, and I will have better compositions than a 28mm field of view. More than that, on the street it's perfect, being a crowded space or a more airy space, so there aren't so many people out there. You can also do some fine shots with this. Also, you can do fine art photography if you know how to use a 40mm lens. And also it's a more natural field of view, and it will not distort your subject face. So I'm totally loving this camera and lens combination because it enters in my pocket. I really don't have to take another bigger camera if I want this kind of photography. But where it's not suited, this camera, well, I feel it's not suited at kids photography, because kids are moving fast. Indoors you have an f2.8 lens, and the AF being not so great, you can't rely on IAF. You can't rely on this camera to document your family photography indoors. So I'm not liking it too much to use it indoors, but if I'm not in a hurry and if I want to set up the shot, or if I want to do it, I can do it. But of course, under a Fujifilm X100V camera indoors, unfortunately the AF, but you can do it if you aren't in a hurry. So I would not recommend you want this camera as your primary family camera. But again, it's doing the job, but not at the level of a Fujifilm camera, let's say. But outdoors, And by the way, I have a special newsletter dedicated to the passionate photographers. So if you want to learn more about photography tips, tricks, and all kinds of useful information for free, please subscribe to my newsletter, link in the comments and description. It's shining. It's shining. You can do any kind of photography, long exposure photography, because it has great IBIS. You can do street photography with manual focusing or with AF. The AF with the screen, it's such a great experience. It's one of the best out there. The only camera that it's replicating or it has similar experience, it's Olympus OMD M10 Mark IV that I have, and also GX9. But this camera, I don't know, it's very snappy. So a snappy camera, just touch AF, or you can touch with manual focusing and you'll have a pre-focused distance and you can instantly take the shots. So it's a camera that will help you take the decisive moment. This is why I'm loving it so much. It helps me make good composition and it also helps me get the decisive moment because I have no lag. This is where a good manual focusing options comes into play. And on the other systems, like on Fujifilm, like on Olympus, like on Sony, I don't have this kind of control. I felt this kind of control just with a film camera, with a dedicated film camera where I set my manual focusing lens in zone focusing, so I'm pre-focusing my lens. I have these options. But with this camera, I have incredible manual focusing options from 0.3 meters, so this means so close to your face, to infinity and so on, with all kinds of apertures. And the camera, again, no lag at all. So try this experience. Try, if you have a camera, the experience of manual focusing and the experience with AF. You'll find out when you are manual focusing your lens and you'll take the shot, you don't have the AF lag. So you will have that split of a second moment. That it's important. You really must feel and experience this split of a second. Very nice experience. So in conclusion, please subscribe to my video because I will post a series about Ricoh GR cameras, why I like them, how I shoot them, how I set up them, and my results, because I'm showing on the screen pictures made with this camera, and the majority of pictures are straight off the camera pictures. Yes, I can edit the raw files. The raw files are great when you are editing them, but also the JPEG simulations are amazing, are really amazing. And I will do a video about this JPEG simulations from Ricoh versus Fujifilm. Please subscribe to my channel, check my affiliate links, subscribe to my newsletter for more photography tips if you want to learn photography from me, and also please check the next Ricoh video. Click here right now.